Alright, so for my product of response, I responded to our text, essayist Orestes Brownson condemns the plight of wage slaves 1840, and as my method of response, I like doing programming, so I made a game, and basically the game is about, called the Labor Simulator, and you are a simulated factory worker, and your goal is to try to make enough money so that you can, buy a house and, kind of have a good life. And as we'll see, that this is not really possible. Um, but yeah, so the game, this is my code here. You can see I had about 340 lines of code, so I'll just say it took way more than 2 hours, but it was fun, so it was good. Um, yeah, so I'll just get into the game. Let me see, I need to enable sound effects real quick. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this will enable the sound effects. Okay, see, come into the game, this is what you're greeted with. You have a rat running across the screen. You have a little intro screen here. You may recognize this person. This is Orestes, actually a picture. And, he's giving you a few instructions. But yeah, the sound effects, they would continue going on as you played the game. I'm going to remove them here so that it's a little easier for me to explain what's going on. But the idea with the sound effects, and really the game as a whole, is that it's kind of designed to be a bit of an uncomfortable experience, right? You're going to have, hammers, large, kind of annoying sounds in your ear the entire game. The game itself is not particularly fun by design. Pretty much all you do is click a black square. Repetitive work that you don't see any reward. There's no feedback when you click the square. You just click it. There's no nice little sound effects. It's just you click the square. Clicking a square is not particularly fun. And that's kind of the idea. Like, you click the square a lot. That's your job. You'll get some amount of money eventually if you click it enough, and then you also lose money, and you have to deal with various negative things. So you could get injured. You could die for some reason. And we'll play the game a little bit, and I'll show you some of those. So yeah, let's go into the game again. Alright, so here you have a little bit of an introduction, just kind of setting the mood, and gives you some instructions about how to play. And then you can see the money here in the top left. So by default, every 7 seconds you'll lose $3. And actually, see, we actually got injured, cuts from sharp metal. So that made us lose $10 right there. And so continuing on. Okay, so if you're in debt for too long, you die. And so actually, another thing, let me close it for now. So when the game is over, like if you die or if you somehow manage to win, which it's not really possible, the game will just restart. It's like it's never over, and this kind of try to symbolize like the factory worker's life. Like you're never getting anywhere. You never make progress. Like so there's no like it doesn't save your state. There's no like leaderboard or whatever that's like, oh, you've won the game this many times. It's like there's no progress. You can't get anywhere, and that's kind of what I was going for with the game, which is also what Orestes was talking about. So actually, like if you were to play the game, this is probably what you'd want to do if you're trying to win. So right now I've set it so that you make way too much money, and so you can see this is what the winning screen looks like. I'm gonna go back and change it so you're not making too much money. Right here, 2,000 is supposed to be 2. So run again, and so you see, I'm clicking the mouse very quickly. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but you can see my money will go down and it will go up as I click some more. So I am furiously clicking and not really getting anywhere. So maybe I'm getting a few dollars here. Oh, and now I'm injured, and now I'm in debt again. Broken arm, lovely. So I'm furiously clicking to try to get out of debt, and let's see, and I was not able to. Okay, lovely. So let's try again. Maybe I won't get injured this time. And so actually you can see there's a progress bar in the top left. The goal is to get $900. With the amount that you gain, I think you should have to click about 100,000 times. Kind of fairly arbitrary, but like the idea is that you're not supposed to be able to get there. And there's a lot of different random events. So injury is pretty common, and injury, it'll either divide your money in half or just take $10 away from you, whichever is random. And then going through the code a little bit, there's like a lot of random bad things. So just every out of every 1,000 times that you click, you just might die. And so that's just you're just dead, right? Like there's nothing, there's different reasons for the death, and you can see those kind of up here. So some of them that I came up with, prolonged exposure to toxic chemicals, fatal accident with machinery, dehydration. So a few examples there. Same reasons for injury as well, and then here's the dialogue intro. Um, so other things just to point out, the rat, that was specific feedback that I got, said, add a rat. So I added a rat. Randomly will run across the screen just to annoy you, really. It's kind of the only point. And then the sound effects as well, it's sort of the same thing. Looking through here, yeah, there's, a bit of like stuff with injuries. Like this is where the logic for the injuries are. You either lose half your money or you lose $10. And then, this is about the die screen, the win screen. Yeah, so overall the game is intentionally very challenging and probably impossible without cheating. And basically, like, because when I read the text, right, like, I pretty much was thinking about just like how kind of hopeless it was for these workers and how they're never really going to get anywhere. And I kind of thought of like, I think syphilis, maybe like pushing the boulder like up the hill. Like this kind of the idea that I was trying to go with this game, where you are not able to ever really make any progress. You either forward or backwards. Like maybe you'll die, but you're not able to get anywhere. And the goal of the game, right, if you read the intro, is basically to be able to buy a house. And so your character wants to be able to buy a house, and they have their job of clicking the black square. I thought also clicking the black square, right, I could have made it like so you click like a loom, or you do something where it's more interactive and you actually make something. But I decided not to, because like honestly that sounded too fun. I didn't really want the person that was playing it to have any fun, because it wouldn't really be as realistic. Already it's not as realistic because the physical aspects aren't really there. But having to click with your finger, like, it's kind of exhausting, right? If you have to click like super fast for like it should take at least a few hours to beat the game, assuming you're playing perfectly. Like, that's no fun, and that's also assuming you get lucky and don't just randomly die, which you will. So yeah, that's the product of response. The code will be on GitHub if you want to take a look at it and run it yourself. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty fun medium to make, and thought it went with the reading pretty well. So yeah.